Hello and welcome back to a live telecast from Henry Pedri Stadium. First semi-final, St. Thomas is walking away as the winners, 54 points to 45, defeating Morrisdale and booking themselves in the final. And now we have Royal College taking on St. Joseph's, and Lelu Kumara is down there with the two captains, and they will be having a quick chat to see what the captains feel. Over to you, Lelu.
Thank you, Sudarshana. Henry Pedri's Basketball Complex second semi-final of the ThePapare Basketball Championship 2016, St. Joseph's College Colombo versus Royal College Colombo. We witnessed a thriller between St. Thomas's and Maristella College Nigambu, where St. Thomas's edged off Maristella boys and qualified for the championship finals. And with me now I have captain of St. Joseph's College outfit, Panduka Gajamange. Panduka, welcome on ThePapare.com. You had a pretty close game with AIS, rather it went on for overtime, and this is the first time you're meeting Royal College in this tournament. How's the confidence coming on for the semi-finals?
Yeah, our team players are very well because they have extra confidence in this tournament, because we had a close game for Gateway and AIS as well. So I'm sure that we can win this tournament.
Any changes in the team lineup, Panduka? How's the first five and injuries?
Most of the players have injuries, most of them are ankle injuries and back injuries. So, but the lineup is just the same, and we are playing with those players.
Thank you very much, Panduka, and wishing you all the very best for the semi-final. Thank you very much for joining with us. And next on we have Tarindu Balasuriya from Royal College Colombo. Tarindu, welcome on ThePapare.com. You had a pretty close match against another college. You were trailing in the first half rather, and came back into the game in the second half. And this is the first time you're meeting St. Joseph's in this tournament. So how's the confidence into the semi-finals?
The confidence in our team is actually really high right now, because all of us are in like full motivation mode, like full beast mode. So like we are all planning on beating Joes this time, even though we lost to them in the finals, the national schools.
If you talk about the team lineup, any injuries, and how's the first five?
First five is like doing really great. Like everyone's all hype and ready for the match. Injuries so far quite nothing. So God bless, everything will go as planned.
No changes from both the teams. Both the first five are same. That's the news from the middle. The ThePapare Basketball Championship 2016 second semi-final. Royal College taking on St. Joseph's College Colombo. Over to you, Sudarshana.
Thank you very much, Lelum. There you go. Two captains sharing their thoughts, both very confident of the final. And we are going to go away to a quick commercial break. And when we come back, Royal College will take on St. Joseph for the second semi-final at the ThePapare Basketball Championship 2016.
වෙනස් වෙලා
Jackson Anthony cinema නිර්මාණය address Then Dialogue Television 7th Circuit channel ඔස්සේ
බුලට් දෙකක් ඇති. එකක් ඔය ඔලුවට, අනික මගේ ඔලුවට.
Dialogue Television introduces Dialogue TV Go, now on your smart device. Anytime, anywhere, any network. Choose from over 40 channels with features like Rewind and Catch Up TV for absolutely free. Download the Dialogue View app on your Android device and click on Dialogue TV Go, or search for Dialogue TV Go on your iOS device and click Get to download. Your favorite show wherever you go. Dialogue Television, Sri Lanka's #1 television experience.
Super Rugby on Setanta Sports. All 9 ties from round 16 live, including the Blues meet the Brumbies.
They must go in, they do! The Blues!
The Waratahs entertain the Hurricanes in Sydney.
Ralph Alau's on the gallop, and he goes! That's a try!
And the Jaguars welcome the Highlanders to Buenos Aires.
Lavavini will take it all the way.
Super Rugby round 16. Watch every game on Setanta.
To activate this channel, use the Dialog Self-Care app or type on space your Dialog television account number, space channel number and SMS to 679 from your Dialog mobile or 0770 679 679 from any other mobile network.
Hello and welcome back on www.thepapare.com, Sri Lanka's #1 sports hub, bringing you the live and exclusive action from the second semi-final of the ThePapare Basketball Championship 2016. The first semi-final, of course, was between St. Thomas's College, Mount Lavinia and Marisla College, Negombo, where St. Thomas's College won the game 54-45 comfortably. 1 more minute remaining till the traditional jump ball start of this match. As the lights slowly come in, Royal College Colombo, they beat another college in their quarterfinal encounter, while St. Joseph's College Colombo beat AIS in overtime, the defending champions in overtime in their quarterfinal encounter. And now both these teams are here for a crunching battle in the tournament semi-finals. The first one was won by St. Thomas's College, Mount Lavinia, and they've already booked their spot in the championship finals. It was 4 unbeaten teams, 4 finalists. Now it's 3 unbeaten teams, and another team from this match will make that long way back out of this championship, while one team will have the chance to qualify and lay hands to the competition again for that trophy on 17th of July 2016. So it's all set here, ladies and gentlemen, for the final semi-final of the ThePapare Basketball Championship 2016, with the sole motive of redefining schools basketball. The final team huddles for both the teams. And that's how it goes for both the teams. Final team huddle, it's all set. Coach Roshan Randim and Shehan Daniels in line for the Josephians. And of course, reminding you about the Royal College first 5, starting off with jersey number 4 Tarindu Balasurya, starting off with jersey number 7 Rukshan Atapattu, starting off with jersey number 8 Dilshan Menuka, starting off with jersey number 10 Gimhan Ravi Shankar, starting off with jersey number 13 Pulasti Chatilaka, and for the Josephians, starting off with jersey number 5 Shinal Samuel, starting off with jersey number 6 Shivanga De Silva, starting off with jersey number 8 Panduka Gajamange, starting off with jersey number 9 Eshita Suradin, starting off with jersey number 11 Shamin Fernando. That's the outfit for the Josephians. And for this second semi-final, joining with me in commentary is Ahmed Abad Fauzan. A very good evening to you, Abad.
Good evening to you, Lelum. Well, like you said, this is the last of the semi-finals, or quarter-finals rather. And I'm telling you, man, this is going to be one of those matches where you really cannot pick a winner at the jump ball. This is going to go right down to the wire. But in my opinion, I believe it is St. Joseph's who have the slight edge over Royal College.
Indeed, St. Joseph's with the first possession. Shinal finds Panduka Gajamange. Back to Shinal. Shinal now. Stolen by Tarindu Balasurya for Royal College. Finds Ruksh. Deshan, back to Tarindu. And another ball comes off, disturbing the proceedings.
Well, for Royal College is going to be Dilshan wearing the number 8 jersey and Rukshan wearing the number 7 jersey, who will be the men to really look forward to. So it'll be Tarindu at the point guard, and he will be passing the ball to either Dilshan or Rukshan. Those are the two guys you have to watch out for if you're a Josephian defender.
Inside stats from Royal College. There you go. That's Gimman finding Rukshan at the battu. Or rather Dilshan Menuka.
Just as I told you, Lelum, they're going to find those two guys. It's going to be Dilshan and Rukshan doing a majority of the scoring.
That's Shivanga, the man who ran the show in the quarterfinal, misses the first shot, 2-0. Advantage on Royal College.
But Shivanga is a very dangerous forward, and we can expect many great things from him in this match. He is a very crucial part of this Josephian lineup.
Rukshan Adapattu, the man of the match in the quarterfinal, finding Tarindu Balasuriya. Now looking for options for Royal College. Back to Rukshan Adapattu. Misses, back to Tarindu Balasuriya. Takes the pass down to Gimhan, who draws the foul.
Well, Lelum, one thing I've really noticed in this particular All Island is how Gimhan has matured as a post player in this league. He is rather younger compared to most of the other players, but he has really come to life and has been very effective on the post, and is, in my opinion, been the most effective post player for Royal College.
Alright, Gimman, can you switch the nets? Misses it completely, and the ball goes over. Advantage for the Josephians. Much needed. They've not got their party started as yet. It's 2-0. Advantage on Royal College with 8 minutes remaining in the first quarter. Shivanga De Silva wearing the number 6 jersey on point guard duties, through the legs and beating the screen. Finds first touch. That's the replay. Shivanga cheek little through the legs and using that screen of Panduka. Goes off. Beautiful execution. 2-all. Scores even.
Like I told you once again, Shivanga is really the key man for Josephs, in my opinion, because he has an ability to make shots for himself. So that is very much needed in this form of the game, as Dilshan knocks down a floater.
4-2. Once again, Shivanga. Cheek little moves up front. Back to Tarindu Balasuriya. Tarindu Balasuriya on the move for Royal. Settling down just outside the 3-point line. Finds Dilshan Menuka. Menuka tries for the 3-pointer. Off the ring. Rebounded very well by Samuel, who's on the move. And now an interception by Tarindu Balasuriya.
Although Tarindu hasn't gone onto the scorecard yet, he has done a lot of intangibles, whether it be on the defense or pass to the right guys. So Tarindu is going to be a very crucial part of the Royal College offense throughout this match.
Shivanga through the lines. Rebounded by Panduka. Panduka trying the second attempt, misses it completely. And yes, that's a foul. A clear call by referee Buddhika. Makes no mistake. 4-2, still a 2-point advantage on Royal College. 7.5 minutes remaining in the first quarter. 2 fouls already for Royal and 1 for St. Joseph's.
Yes, team foul trouble rather is going to be a crucial part of this, because just reminding non-basketball fans that the moment a team exceeds the four team foul limit, the opposition team will be shooting free throws, and that could be very costly from a defensive standpoint.
Panduka Gajamange, skipper for St. Joseph's, on the line for a couple of shots. Misses the first one. He has another chance to add another point for the scorecard and cut the deficit by 1. 2 out of 2 gone into waste. Rebounded by Pulatisi. In the break, Tarindu Balasuriya finds Dilshan Menuka. Back to Tarindu Balasuriya, who drives in the middle lane, settles down just near the free throw line. Back to Rukshan Adapattu, now going on in from the left lane and gets a foul on him.
I think that's an illegal screen by Gimhan. But if you notice, Royal College is playing at an up-tempo level. They're pushing the ball right from the break, and that is classical Prasanna Jayasingh offensive tactics. And St. Joseph's has to be on the watch out, or you will find the scorecard just moving without you even noticing it.
On the break to Rukshan Adapattu, 1v2, but he decides to settle down and calm himself down till his other teammates come on to the attacking half. Tarindu Balasuriya sends a long pass across to Pulatisi, who ties the three-pointer. Unfortunately, off the ring. White ball, says referee.
You can see Gimhan's activity level, yeah? He is really putting in a lot of effort, and I see a lot of promise in this young lad. He might come in really good for Royal College, especially in the future, as he has a couple more years of schooling left in him.
Shivanga through the defense, misses it, draws the foul though. That is what matters. 4 fouls already on the Royal College outfit. 1 more would be team fouls, and from that point onwards, any foul committed by Royal College, that's the replay where Shivanga draws the foul. And coming back to the point, any foul committed by Royal College from this point onwards will earn a free throw for the Josephians. Right up front in the game, team fouls. Foul problem for St. Joseph's, rather Royal College.
See, it's Shivanga who is causing a lot of trouble with all that dribble penetration, and he is drawing men in, and because of his speed and size, it is drawing in a lot of Royal defenders who are sometimes unable to keep up with Shivanga's speed, and that is what is causing early foul trouble for Royal College, and they have to be very mindful, otherwise they'll be in a lot of trouble, especially in terms of their starting 5 getting into foul trouble. Shivanga, beautiful behind the back, loses control but still maintains his poise. It's Shinal with the ball, passes it to Shamin, Shamin works it back to Shinal, Shinal feeds it in the post. It is a beautiful turnaround jumper by Eshita Suradin for St. Joseph's College. So now it is 6 points to 4, and the game is very much in the balance. The party has just started, ladies and gentlemen. Stay tuned to ThePapare.com throughout this game, because this, like I told you at the start of the match, is going to be a thriller.
Already St. Joseph's College cutting the deficit and leading the game by a couple points now. Back to Dilshan Menuga, who tries a 3-pointer, swishes the nets. Beautifully done and very well executed. That's the replay on your screen. Going off. 7-6, lead back on Royal College. A point lead with 5 minutes remaining. Shivanga De Silva calls off for the screen. Panduka Gajamangi, double team now. Sends it across to his counterpart. Through the line. Back to Shinal. Shinal takes a 3-point away outside the line. Completely missing it.
Well, I was telling you at the start of the match about the Josephians having to watch out for Rukshan and Dilshan. If you notice, out of the first 7 points, 5 have been scored by either Rukshan or Dilshan. In fact, all 5 have been scored by Dilshan. So you really have to take that 3-point game away from him, both him as well as Rukshan. But if you're not going to pay attention to him outside the 3-point arc, the Josephians are going to have to regret it. 4 minutes 25 seconds on the clock. Royal College with a slight lead, 7 points to 6. Tarindu controlling the ball, drives in, jump stops, passes it to Rukshan. Rukshan drives in with his left, kicks it out to Dilshan. Dilshan feeds the post to Gimhan. Gimhan takes a fadeaway, not good, but Pulasit is there for the rebound. That's a crucial offensive rebound in the context of the game. Rukshan resets.
Rukshan Adapattu now drives to the middle lane, intercepted very well by Shanal Samuel. Once again, Rukshan Adapattu retains the ball for Royal College. Finding Tarindu Balasuriya, calming things down, calling off for offensive play. Yes, the screen, or rather the post-up play. Through the left lane, Rukshan Adapattu, blocked off by Panduka Gajamangi. He's on the break for St. Joseph's.
That was beautiful offense as well as defense. A beautiful drive and a beautiful defensive block. It is Shamin with the 3-point attempt, not good.
Shivanga De Silva sending Panuka Kachamange back. Now going through that lane, takes a mid-range jumper. Misses it, rebounded by Dilshan Menuka. In position for Royal College. Tries to beat Chanal Samuel as he does the well. As Rukshan Adapattu nails it.
Whoa, that's
And
one
that's
tough
the
shot,
replay.
wasn't it? One tough shot.
There you go, Shamin Fernando now with the ball. Finds Sharan Shamul. Back to Shamin Fernando. Now to Shivanga. Shivanga. Defense by Rukshan Adapattu. Now a double team right there on the post. Not the best of the intelligent moves that was he should have opted to pass. But now on the other hand, Dilshan Menuka with the fast break. Passes to Rukshan Adapattu. And he misses. Rebounded very well by Eshita Suradin. As a substitution is on for Royal College. It will be Heshan Hansaka who's making his inroads into the playing five as Rukshan Adapattu goes back onto the bench. That's the clock on your screen right now with 2.5 minutes remaining in the quarter. 9-6, a 3-point lead for Royal College Colombo.
Well, that was a straightforward layup that Rukshan missed there. But mind you, the new guy in Heshan is a dead-eye 3-point shooter. On his day, he will do a lot of damage, and I for one noticed that throughout the group stages he did a lot of damage, especially against CIS Kandy as well as Kingswood. So if you're a Josephian defender, better watch out for Eshan on the 3-point line.
Alright, Josephian defenders, if you do ever hear Abbad, watch out for that lad. But unfortunately I believe Roshan Randim has far more better and different strategies beyond us.
Is absolutely true. A man with a lot of experience, and also he is a current Sri Lanka player. So of course he would have figured things out by now.
Dilshan Menuka with the ball for Royal College. Finds the point guard Tharindu Balasurya wearing the number 4 jersey. Defense by Shivanga De Silva. Beats him with a little crossover. Doesn't make inroads. Now a good pass. That was the same play that they executed, and they just did the same post up play. Brings the post into high post position and vacates that behind the area for the forward to drive in. That was just very well executed as it's another and one opportunity.
Lelum, I actually thought the pass was a little bit weak. There should have been a bit more juice in it, but fortunate for them, Dilshan was able to catch it, and as the defender jumped, he was able to get the contact but still finish. He is a strong lad. He might not look that big, but he is one strong lad who, if you play against him, you know how strong he is. And he is a Royal skipper, by the way, and he has really led the team from the front as Royal College leads 11 points to 6.
Yes, so that's the overview of Henry Pedris Basketball Complex right now. The ThePapare Basketball Championship 2016 with the sole motive of redefining schools basketball. The priest community of St. Joseph's College in the middle is Rector, Reverend Father Travis Gabriel, and the 2 vice rectors, and of course the rest of the priest community coming off to watch the Josephians play. Reverend Father Travis Gabriel being appointed as the rector in 2014, if I'm not mistaken, shifting his duties from St. Peter's College to the brother school. He was the previous rector of St. Peter's College. Now coming off to watch the talent and the potential of the Josephians, who qualified themselves for the semi-final stage. And the other match, the first semi-final, was worked off between Marisla College and St. Thomas's. Mind you, the scores were equal in half-time, 25-all, and St. Thomas's came off with a brilliant performance to win that game by 9 points and qualify for the championship finals. And one of these teams will play alongside them on 17th of July 2016 here at Henry Pedris Basketball Complex under lights. And of course, you will catch the action live on thepapare.com, MyTV, and Dialogue TV Channel 1. And the girls' semi-final will be played at 3:45 p.m. on the dot on 17th of July between Good Shepherd Convent and St. Joseph's Girls' School, Nukegoda. And tomorrow, the 2 third-place matches will operate. Holy Family Convent will take on Presbyterian Girls National School from Dehivala at 3:45 p.m. on the dot. And the loser from this match will join Marisla College Nigambu for the 3rd place match tomorrow at 5:45 p.m. on the dot. Those are the 4 matches in the of the ThePapare Basketball Championship, the upcoming schedule where you can catch the action live on ThePapare.com, and on 17th you can catch the action live on Dialog TV channel 1, My TV as well. As Shivanga goes through the defense and draws the foul. Team fouls, and it will be a free throw. Yes, that's a replay on your screen right now. Shivanga drawing that foul off. Much needed points here if he can swish both the opportunities through the nets. 6-12, a 6-point lead. They're trailing by 6 points. Gets the first one in.
Well, Shivanga, in my opinion, seems to be forcing it a tad little bit. He probably should pass it around a little bit and maybe catch it on the baseline or maybe in the dead corner, because right now it looks like he's drawing in too many defenders to him. Yes, he is drawing those fouls in, but I believe he'll be more effective if he does a bit more cutting on the offense.
That's Hansaka. Defense by Shivanga. Hansaka goes for the mid-range jumper. Rebounded by Banduka Gajamange. Sends it back to Shinal Samuel, who's bringing the ball up front to the attacking half for the Josephians. Gets it over to Shamin Fernando. Called off for a screen. Drives through to the baseline. All the way. Passing to Banduka Gajamange. But unfortunately, Shivanga De Silva keeps his foot on that white line and a turnover. Referee Buddhika making a very clear call on it.
Well, the new player that was inserted a while ago for Royal was Sonal Premalal. You better watch out for him, because although he isn't that big, he has an incredible vertical. So although he is a perimeter player, he will still come crashing those boards. As Rukshan makes a drive, and he makes it look so easy. He is a Sri Lanka schools player, and he certainly does prove to be one of the best, and he is probably next in line to captain Royal College.
Beautiful execution once again by Rukshan Adapatu, just going through the baseline. But on the other side now, Shivanga De Silva going through that defense again and swishes the nets. 10-14 with 50 seconds remaining. There you go, that's Shivanga on your screen in the replay. Getting much valuable points for Royal College, rather St. Joseph's College, Colombo. Trailing by 4 points, 49 seconds on the clock. Hansaka looking for options. Intercepted by Shinal Samuel.
That was a poor pass, because what happened before was Shivanga still seems to be forcing the issue. It's just he is so talented, he still manages to score. But if you really notice, those shots that they're making are really tough shots. And now he calls for a screen, he drives with his left, pops again, does not make it. But again, once again, you see Shivanga simply forcing the issue. Maybe he is the superstar of the team, but there are 4 other team members as well. Lelu.
Indirectly, basketball is a team game and not a one-man show. So, yep, pick it up for the all-big semi-final. As Rukshan Adapatu drives in, misses the shot. Rebounded by Banduka Gajamange, the skipper for St. Joseph's College. And on your screen right now, by the number 11, this is Shamin Fernando. Finds his teammate Shinal Samuel. Back to Shivanga.
Traveling
violation. Unfortunate. Too many positions gone into waste.
But there's 4 seconds on the clock. Let's see if Royal College can make this. Rukshan advances on the court. Pops from the 3-point line, off the board. But no, it's too late. It is, however, Royal College who will walk into the second quarter with a 4-point lead. Scorecard reads 14 points to 10 in favor of Royal College.
There you go, on the clock, 1 minute remaining for the quarter break. 14-10, 5 team fouls for Royal College in the first quarter. 4-point advantage ahead. But speaking about the ThePapare Basketball Championship, redefining schools basketball, bringing and finding new talent in the schools and lifting them up to the stage. How important this is, and how should these young players utilize this to better themselves?
This is a tremendous opportunity. ThePapare Basketball is doing a great job. Basketball has definitely come a long way since we were schooling back probably about 5 years back. But this is an unbelievable opportunity for all these youngsters playing quarterfinals, semifinals at a court like Henry Pedris, which is a state-of-the-art court thanks to ThePapare.com, and also the amount of coverage that they're getting. It should give them ample motivation and incentive to become better players, maybe not just now but also in the future, and that eventually will probably lead them become Sri Lankan level players at one point, which will probably help us in our cause of beating our adversaries in Asia, starting from India and the other Asian countries as well. So kudos to ThePapare.com for all the amazing work that they're putting in terms of redefining schools basketball.
There you go, ThePapare.com, not just covering matches, not just another media corporation, but extending its duties beyond normal media corporation towards the development of the sports. And on your screen right now, Roshan Bandima and assistant coach Shahan Daniels giving clear-cut instructions for the Josefians. They are trailing by 4 points and 15 seconds on the clock. You see it on the screen to start the second quarter.
Well, Lelum, if I am to quickly summarize what happened in the first quarter, we found that Royal College was finding Dilshan and Rukshan, and they were the ones doing the majority of the scoring, with Gimhan occasionally getting into the party and crashing on the boards. Whereas for St. Joseph's, I find a lot of talent there, and you remember the quarterfinals where they just completely came up with a miraculous performance to win with 3 players fouled out. They still managed to get over it. But I feel that Shivanga is, you cannot fault him. I just feel it's part of their system where, you know, they had Pranithu Dumalagala, who was also a star caliber player, and they were kind of relying on him. But I have a feeling that they're forcing the issue with Shivanga. But like you said, hopefully things will improve for St. Joseph's College.
Well, that's all we are here to see on this second quarter. 10 minutes set on the clock, trailing by 4 points. St. Joseph's College has taken their respective positions in the playing court, while Royal College now makes inroads after their final team huddle.
Your bet on the second quarter, who do you think is going to take it?
I think it's going to be another close opportunity, but if St. Joseph's picks themselves up in the defense, they can clearly stop the leaking of the points and get the better of themselves. So let's see what happens here, as Rukshan Atapattu will get the throw in for Tharindu Balasuriya. He's back on the playing 5. Defense by Shivanga De Silva. On the baseline, blocked by Panduka Gachamange. Makes no mistake. Sends it back to Shanal Samuel. Shanal Samuel finds Shivanga De Silva. Back to Shanal Samuel, who drives and
Much
gets
better.
a shot in.
Much better from St. Joseph's. Way more ball movement. And you saw it was not Shivanga making the play, but it was Shanal. As Tharindu controls the game for Royal College, and he calls Pulisic. Drives in, kicks it out to Sonal, gets the ball back. And he passes it to Rukshan, the main playmaker.
Rukshan Atapattu now driving off the left middle lane and swishes the nets, answers back with another couple layups. That's the replay on your screen right now. Rukshan Atapattu going forward, gets a crossover, shifts lanes and gets a full value for the shot.
Beautiful. He finished with his left. Big time 3-pointer by Shameen. He answers right back, and the deficit is merely 1 point now, as Tharindu advances the ball to the court and surveys.
Tharindu Balasuriya now. Defense by Shivanga De Silva. Sends it off to Sonal Premaral. Back to Tharindu Balasuriya. He's calling off for that high post play. Rukshan Atapattu is free on the lane, but no. Pulatisi opts to go for the shot himself, fails. He should have got Rukshan.
That was clearly a forced shot. There was no shot there for the taking. As Shameen attempts another 3. Doesn't make them pay though. However, it's Tharindu now who's advancing for Royal College. He is a very smart player, Tharindu. He's very calm and collect. And in this instance, he is probably the ideal point guard for an offense to work with.
Stolen, and on the fast break is St. Joseph's College. That's Esita Suradin who missed the shot. Getting it on his foot. A very, very unfortunate decision. There you go. Trying to get it over behind his back. Misses it completely. He should have stuck to the basics of but.
Definitely, these things count for a lot. Rukshan missed an easy layup at the start, and this was probably a clear path to the court. And this is a quarterfinals.
Semi-finals to be very precise.
Semi-finals, I beg your pardon. And everything is on the line. And these are things that the players should really capitalize on.
Shanal Samuel with the ball for St. Joseph's College. Finds Shivanga De Silva on the left side. Drives off 3 defenders in front of him. Probably passing around the perimeter would have worked for St. Joseph's, but rebound by Shivanga. Gets it off onto a clear area. And another turnover. Opportunity for Rukshan Atapattu. He does no mistake. It was easy picking. Beautiful pass by Sonal Premalal. There you go to Rukshan Atapattu on the replay. Getting full value for that fast break position.
But if you notice, it was Tharindu who initiated that defensive move. He bothered the forward, and that pass was an unforced error rather. But it was Rukshan who made them pay ultimately. Tharindu advances with the ball once again. could not find Rukshan as the number 8 intercepts it for St. Joseph's.
Panduga Gajamange, the skipper for St. Joseph's College. Good judging in the path and the line of the pass and putting his hand out to scoop things out. And a substitution comes in. Yes, Shehan Fernando wearing the number 4 jersey comes off for St. Joseph's and gets a tap. Another tap. A good fight for the ball. Rukshan is about to win. Goes for the clear area. Turns around. Shoots. Misses. Rebounded by the new substitute. Shehan Fernando sends it back to Shanal Samuel, who advances off to the front court. Back to Shivanga De Silva. Going off, passing out, and not the best of the passers as it's intercepted by the Royal College team. And that's a foul call. I have no idea how referee Buddhika spotted that, but it was a really good call and a tough call.
It really is. He is one of the most experienced referees we have here. He was a member of the Sri Lanka Army basketball team previously. But if you notice, it's once again their hero, Shivanga, who being a hero always has the responsibilities, and he will also have to bear the criticism as well. So if you notice, another unforced error for St. Joseph's College, and that isn't going to help them in the long run.
Harindu Balasuriya with the ball. Now going off to Rukshan Adapattu. Rukshan Adapattu goes for the 3. Swishers it, makes no mistake. 21-15, that's the replay.
That's a big time shot.
To Rukshan Adapattu. Gets it in. 21-15. 5 minutes remaining in the second quarter.
That's a big time shot. And now it is Tharindu with the ball. Nope. Intercepted by St. Joseph's. It is Esita who drives. Kicks it out to Shanal. Shanal drives in. Shanal gets a floater. No, he misses it. However, it is St. Joseph's once again with an offensive rebound. And it is Rukshan now who finally has possession for Royal. He pushes it up. Controls the game. Well, that previous 3-pointer from Rukshan was special because it was not just on the catch, but was on the dribble. So it was more like a step-back jumper, which is a very, very difficult shot. And Rukshan is one of those players who is capable of knocking it. As starting to surface the court, launches it up, could not find the net.
Rebounded by the Josephians on the play. That's Shanal Samuel bringing the ball onto the attacking half for the Josephians. Goes for a 3-pointer, swishes the nets, beautiful execution and a timeout by Royal College. That's the replay on your screen. There you go, Shanal taking an easy 3-pointer and a clean slate, 21-18, cutting the deficit by just 3 points with 5 minutes on the dot remaining in the second quarter.
Well, Shanal Samuel has completely come alive, hasn't he? He has hit 2 very big 3-pointers that has put St. Joseph's right back into the hunting party. I'm telling you, Royal College at times has been slagging when it comes to defending the 3-point line, and the Josephian number 5, Shanal especially, has been making Royal pay dear, and they better watch out, or this Josephian squad is a very dangerous squad that could really come to haunt you, especially when the game goes right down to the wire.
It's a timeout, yes. Assistant coach Shehan Daniels telling what he should tell. Probably a bit of harsh words exchanged out there in the team huddle for the Josephians. And on the other hand, it's Royal College who's giving off the advices. It's the all-important ThePapare Basketball Championship 2016. Ladies and gentlemen, on the background there you say 5 minutes on the dot. 5 and 2 zeros remaining in the clock for the first half. 21-18. Royal College leading by 3 points. What will St. Joseph's College do in this remaining 5 minutes is what we are here to watch, and what you are here, rather you're tuned in with ThePapare.com watch from home and on Dialogue TV Channel 1 as well. Hello and very good evening to all our viewers joining in Dialogue TV Channel 1 as well.
Well, Shehan Fernando off the bench has put in a lot of work and has given a big lift for the Josephian defense especially. He has been a hustle player as Gimhan works once again on the post, and Rukshan makes a beautiful jumper. That is basic basketball. Tharindu calls for Gimhan to come to the high post, passes it, Rukshan fakes and cuts baseline and gets an easy jumper.
That was such an elegant shot by Rukshan Adapattu as Shivanga De Silva drives through. You're double teamed in that line, mate. You can't do that. As the position goes to waste, but Shivanga managed to retain the ball. Now he drives from the middle lane. Goes for the shot, misses it once again. He has not complete momentum of the game. He needs to get it back. He needs to get his act together. Otherwise, St. Joseph's College will be in deep trouble. As skipper Hansaka, Heshan Hansaka with the ball. On point guard duties, finds Rukshan Adapattu, their main man, feeding him, goes through the baseline, passes it off. Gimhan Ravishankar, who misses it.
It's a travelling violation. Well, we see Shivanga once again. That was a very difficult shot to take. Actually, there was no shot to take. He could have probably passed it out. But I'm pretty sure this lad is very capable of settling things down. And if he does, it's going to be all hell loose. And Royal College will be in a lot of trouble.
Beautiful pass, but unfortunate for Panduka Gachamange not to bring full value into that cheeky little pass by Shivanga De Silva. Once again on the other side. Now Royal College in possession. Calling off for another offensive play. Back to Pulatisi. Pulatisi goes off, misses it, rebounded by Yashita Suradin, who's on the break. Goes through the middle lane and goes for the shot. Gets it in. 20-23. 3 points deficit. That's the replay. Shan Suradin goes in. Gets a shot in. Beautifully executed fast break.
That's a big time play. Big time play. It was 1-on-4, but who cares as long as you get the 2 points in? Nobody cares. It's 23-20 in favor of Royal College as Rukshan sits in. Beautiful behind the back. Passes it. Oh, there was a bit too much juice on the pass now, wasn't there?
Bit too much power. Adrenaline rushing and pumping in these lads' veins. 23-20, a 3 points light edge over St. Joseph's. Royal College having an advantage, but it's not the best of the advantages you can have because these are very tight and nail-biting games. You never know what will happen in a semi-final. If you're just joining us live from anywhere around the globe on DTV Channel 1 or ThePapare.com, it's the second and the final semi-final of the ThePapare.com Basketball Championship. Royal College taking on St. Joseph's College. 23-20 is the score. It's the second quarter. Royal College leading the game.
Well, Dilshan has just been inserted back into the game. I really don't understand the tactic of using Dilshan this late in the game because he was their main scorer in the first quarter. So I cannot understand the line of thinking there. But it is Prasanna Jayasinghe who is their coach who has plenty of experience and he definitely knows what he's doing. Let's see what Dilshan can do for Royal College with 2 minutes and 30 seconds on the clock.
Tarindu Balasurya with the ball, goes all the way around and finds the gap. Draws the foul. Beautiful play by the young lad. Beautiful play.
He has a good head. You know what I'm saying? He has a solid head. He knows what he is doing. He doesn't panic. Even if you put pressure on him on the half court, say, he would still be very calm and he has very good ball handling skills, which means he's going to work the ball between his legs or whatever, and he's just going to make sure that a smooth offense is run. As Royal College force an unforced error, that's a backcourt violation.
A bit too much on the pass for Royalists. St. Joseph's College will now have advantage back right there. Over to Shinal now. Back to Shivanga De Silva. Panduka Gajamange getting on the screen. Shivanga with a mid-range jumper. Misses it. Rebounded by Royal College. Tarindu Balasuri on the break. Gets an easy picking to Dilshan Menuka. Misses the shot. Disappointing. Panduka Gajamange. He does it. 22-23, 2 minutes remaining. That's the replay as Panduka Gajamange swishes the nets.
But that was a big time play by Shyam on the defensive end. Huge block, which results in a fast break point on the other side as Tarindu sets up, passes it to Dilshan. Let's see what the skipper can do for Royal. Drives in, kicks out to Tarindu. Tarindu attempts a three, but it is short. Big time play by Panduka. St. Joseph's have always been known for their hustle play. They play solid defense, and that is what has caused them many success in the past. And that is exactly what we're seeing right now. Even though they're struggling on their set offense, it is the defensive energy that is really helping them stay in the game. And it's only 1 point that is separating both these teams with 1:38 on the clock as Shinal drives. Passes it to Shivanga. Once again, we see an offense led by Shivanga. Another forced shot, but he manages to get his offensive. That's a big time play. But still, Lelum, I feel Shivanga is forcing the issue. Yes, he is absolutely talented. There is no doubting that. But I feel that maybe they should pass a bit more.
Tarindu Balasuriya finds Sonal. Sonal goes through the baseline, tries to go through the baseline, but making a miss at the possession. 1 minute remaining just before half time. 23-24. St. Joseph's now coming back and leading the game by a point. I did tell you they will turn tables around in this quarter.
Definitely. That was a huge momentum switch with that block by the big man, Shyam. And that from that point onwards, it has been all St. Joseph's. As Sonal makes a big time defensive play and gets fouled. Now, defense wins championships, Lalum. And right now, I see average offense, but serious defense for both teams. And that might be the deciding factor in this game.
Well, indeed, that's a very popular saying among all the basketball players. Offense might win you a game, but offense will never win you a championship. It's the defense that goes and brings you all the way along. You can score a host of points, but if you don't defend your points, you're just gone way too away, mate. That's it. Sonal Premalal, when the number 5 jersey is on the line, misses 2 out of 2. Unfortunate proceedings in the free throw as St. Joseph's is on a fast break, goes, takes a shot and brings full value to that shot. Ashita Suradin run the number 9 jersey with 30 seconds remaining, 23-26. St. Joseph's are leading this game by 3 points as Tarindu Balasuriya misses it. Rebounded by Rukshan Adapattu, goes for the 2-point and nails it down. 25-26, 1 point lead for St. Joseph. That's a replay. Rukshan Adapattu taking it on.
Big time play, because that was a 6-0 Josephian run, and that was a very, very difficult jumper that he shoots to the man on his face as a Josephian misses it, and it's Sonal who is pushing the pace. However, he could not convert it.
There you go. That's half time here at the second semi-final of the ThePapare Basketball Championship between St. Joseph's College and Royal College Colombo. And the story out from here is that 26-25. The scoreline suggests that St. Joseph's have made inroads into the game and they are leading this game by a point. And of course, stay tuned on thepapare.com as we will bring more live action as soon as the second half commences. Ladies and gentlemen, it's the ThePapare Basketball Championship second semi-final. St. Joseph's College leading by a point. Stay tuned on thepapare.com.
වෙනස් වෙලා
Jackson Anthony Cinema Nirvana address
පරමඥාති
Then Dialogue Television 7th Circuit Channel ඔස්සේ
බුලට් දෙකක් ඇති එකක් ඔය ඔලුවට අනික මගේ ඔලුවට
Dialogue Television introduces Dialogue TV Go, now on your smart device. Anytime, anywhere, any network. Choose from over 40 channels with features like Rewind and Catch Up TV for absolutely free. Download the Dialogue View app on your Android device and click on Dialogue TV Go. Or search for Dialogue TV Go on your iOS device and click Get to download. Your favorite show wherever you go. Dialogue Television, Sri Lanka's #1 television experience.
Super Rugby on Setanta Sports. All 9 ties from round 16 live, including the Blues meet the Brumbies.
They must go in, they do. The Blues.
The Waratahs entertain the Hurricanes in Sydney.
Ralph Alau's on the gallop. And he goes. That's a try.
And the Jaguars welcome the Highlanders to Buenos Aires.
Lavavini will take it all the way.
Super Rugby round 16. Watch every game on Setanta.
To activate this channel, use the Dialog Self-Care app or type on space your Dialog television account number, space channel number and SMS to 679 from your Dialog mobile or 0770 679 679 from any other mobile network.
ඔබ වෙනස් වෙලා
Jackson Anthony Cinema Nirvana address Then Dialog Television 7th Circuit Channel ඔස්සේ
බුලට් දෙකක් ඇති. එකක් ඔය ඔලුවට අනික මගේ ඔලුවට.
Dialog Television introduces Dialog TV Go, now on your smart device. Anytime, anywhere, any network. Choose from over 40 channels with features like Rewind and Catch Up TV for absolutely free. Download the Dialog View app on your Android device and click on Dialog TV Go, or search for Dialog TV Go on your iOS device and click Get to download your favorite show wherever you go. Dialog Television, Sri Lanka's #1 television experience.
Super Rugby on Setanta Sports. All 9 ties from round 16 live, including the Blues meet the Brumbies.
They must go in, they do. The Blues.
The Waratahs entertain the Hurricanes in Sydney.
Ralph Alau's on the gallop. And he goes. That's a try.
And the Jaguars welcome the Highlanders to Buenos Aires.
Lavavini will take it all the way.
Super Rugby round 16. Watch every game on Setanta.
To activate this channel, use the Dialog Self-Care app or type on space your Dialog television account number, space channel number and SMS to 679 from your Dialog mobile or 0770 679 679 from any other mobile network.
Hello and welcome back on www.thepapare.com, Sri Lanka's #1 sports hub. And there you go, the lights are all switched on at Henry Pedris Basketball Complex. 25-26 is the score. Royal College trailing by a point. 1.5 minutes left in the halftime break. Abad, what do you think the strategies will be from either the teams coming on to the second half of the game?
Well, Lelum, from St. Joseph's point of view, I believe they definitely have to move the ball around. Like I've been telling from the start of the game, they should start finding open men. And someone like Shivanga doesn't have to force shots. He can find other people on his drive. From Royal College's point of view, they have completely gone off with their defense. And they have to take extra care protecting the three-point shooting, especially from Shinal. That man has done a lot of damage. He has shot two three-pointers in this game, which has been the turning point for St. Joseph's. For St. Joseph's, obviously, they'll still have to look for Rukshan as well as Dilshan on the offense. But for Royal College, it's going to be key that they keep the three-point shooting quiet from St. Joseph's, and also the hustle play. If you notice the amount of activity the post players in the form of Panduka and Esinta are doing for St. Joseph's College, that is a lot of hustle. And that and the three-point shooting, in my opinion, is what is keeping St. Joseph's in the game.
There you go. That's what both these teams have to do coming on to the second half of this game. As the clock is all set, St. Joseph's College leading by a point, 26-25. Royal College will have first possession in this second half, or rather the third quarter of the match. The ThePapare Basketball Championship, ladies and gentlemen, live action brought to you by www.thepapare.com, Sri Lanka's premier sportscaster, redefining schools basketball stage, finding new talent and potential, developing it up for the national stage. It's been a slight confusion. It's going to be St. Joseph's College is going to have the first possession in the second half, or rather the third quarter. And yes, referee is instructing the fans to be behind the ThePapare.com board. Shivanga De Silva sends it off to Shyam Pereira, making the first appearance in the playing five for this match. Back to Panduka Gajamange. Back off to Shyam. Back to Panduka. Now to Shinal. Shinal goes back to Panduka. Panduka takes a mid-range jumper, misses it. Shyam rebounds. Offloads to Eshita Swadin. Eshita to Shivanga De Silva. Goes through the middle lane, makes a miss of it, takes the mid-range jumper, switches the nets, extending the lead by a couple of points. There you go. Shivanga De Silva starting off the party for St. Joseph's College in the second half.
Big time play by Shivanga, but if you notice, it was not Shivanga who was advancing and making the offense on his own, but rather he received a pass, at which time the Royal College defense is not set, which means there's a lot of driving lanes for Shivanga as Rukshan gets fouled in the act of shooting, and will be shooting two crucial free throws in the context of the game.
Free throws, of course, can change the fate of the game at any given time. It's very crucial and very important that these players go up and get full value to those free shots provided, as Rukshan Atapattu will do. As we said, in his first attempt, he has another chance on his hands to make it count. 26-28. Now he does 2 out of 2, 27-28, trailing by a point. Once again, Royal College is back in the game.
Well, with Dilshan going quite quiet because of his lack of minutes in the first half, it was Rukshan who was doing the scoring, and it is Shinal with the ball for St. Joseph's. Finds Esita, but he travels. So that is another unforced error for St. Joseph. We saw a lot of unforced errors, and they will really have to step up their game if they want to keep this lead.
Parindu Balasurya taking a crossover and beating Shivanga De Silva, and sends it to Pulatisi, who's on the post. Misses the shot. Panduka Gajamange with the rebound. Shivanga De Silva taking on point guard duties now. Passing it to Shinal Samuel, who's on the left forward. Gets it to Panduka Gajamange for the post play. No, back to Shinal Samuel. Now driving off the middle lane. Goes for the shot. Off the ring. Fails with the rebound. Royal College gets better. Beautiful pass to Dilshan Menuka. Very unfortunate that they missed it. Beautifully through the defense. A bounce pass by Talindu Balasurya, who missed it completely. And that's the foot on the line. There you go, right on the line.
Quite poor offense from both teams. For Royal, it was a 3-on-1 offense, 3-on-1 fast break. but it is Dilshan who misses a pretty straightforward layup. And then Shiranga, who was playing well at the start, steps out of bounds. There is yet another unforced error for St. Joseph's as he finds Dilshan, who passes it back to Tarindu. Tarindu sets, calls to the screen, and is Pulasiti with the ball. Pulasiti drives, yet another forced shot. Now he has taken 3 forced shots in this quarter, and that, I'm telling you, is not what the doctor has ordered for Royal College.
Indeed, trailing by a point, Royal College. Shivanga getting it off to Shanal Samuel, who dishes out a 3, but misses it. Dilshan Menuka with the rebound up front for Rukshan Adapattu. Gets in the fast break. Beautiful execution in play. He was way off target, but look at that stretch in the hand to the board, using the board facility for the maximum and switching the nets. 27-30.
Shiranga drives. His jump shot is not good as Dilshan pushes the pace again. Tarindu is there to help him. However, they blow yet another layup. Now this is something you can see. Prasanna Jayasinghe is completely frustrated with this. Royal College has missed at least 3 open layups. I mean, of course there is a player contesting it, but still, at the under-19 level, these are layups that he should make. Beautiful pass. And Pulasiti once again forces shots that are not there. Royal College will have to rectify this if they want to move forward on a positive note.
Oh well, foul call on the other side. Crucial call there by the referee, and a good call.
I think it is a good call because Tarindu was standing his position, was standing his ground, and was the offensive player who ran through him. You cannot run through players in basketball, rather run around. Now, technical foul on Roshan Randima because of his accusation of the referee. I mean, of course, the coaches love to talk to the referees, but there is a limit, and if the coaches cannot stay disciplined themselves, they might be penalized with a technical foul like we saw there.
Well, what can Rukshan Adapattu do here? Misses the first one. 29-28, trailing by a point. 7 minutes remaining in the third quarter. It's the second half of the game. If you're just joining us live from anywhere around the globe, a very good evening to you. It's the second and the final semi-final of the ThePapare Basketball Championship. Thandu Balasurya with the ball for Royal. Pumping gas up, takes on a floater, misses it. With the rebound, Pulatisi, another shot that was not on the card for him. Dilshan Menuka now driving through, beautiful pass to Gimhan Ravishankar, who completely made a mess of it. And that cheeky little defensive move by Panduka Gajamangi retains the lead, or rather does not extend the lead. It's 29-28.
I must tell you, Lelum, the Royal College big men have still not been up to the task. They have been making shots that are not there. Of course, not making them, but failing to make those shots rather. And it is the forwards in the form of Rukshan and Dilshan who are keeping them in this game. As Nelaka makes a power dribble, cannot convert. Esita with the rebound. And it is Shamin with the ball and passes it to the usual suspect, Shivanga. Shivanga sets, it is Tarindu, a slightly smaller player guarding him, so he has an advantage over him in terms of size, so he can shoot over him. Drives in, difficult layup, hits the rim. Oh my goodness, what was that? It has heated up. Shanal drives. Shanal has been having a calm head throughout the game, Lelum. Shamin forces a 3. So this is not pretty basketball in terms of offense, but we see a lot of intensity. And the game has definitely sped up by quite a bit. And we see a substitution as Shivanga comes right back into the game.
And of course, a quick reminder about the ThePapare.com social media platforms. You can find us on all major social media platforms. There are 24/7 news hub targeting both international and national news. You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and on SoundCloud. ThePapare.com, ladies and gentlemen, Sri Lanka's #1 sports hub.
So that's oh my goodness. Now things are really beginning to heat up here at the Henry Pedres basketball court, as now it is Prasanna Jayasinghe, the Royal College head coach, who has been teed up because he has been shouting at the referee. Clearly frustrations all out with a game this close at the semi-finals level, with everything on the line. And now it is Shinal who will be shooting the free throw. So a quick reminder, ladies and gentlemen, if there's a technical foul, we will shoot one free throw, and the team who shoots the free throw will retain possession. So that is a costly technical foul.
There you go, 2 technical fouls on either of the coaches, bringing on the heat for this Papare Basketball Championship semi-finals. Shivanga De Silva now on the left side for St. Joseph's, drives to the baseline and fails, keeping his foot on that line. You cannot afford those mistakes. Oh my God, you cannot afford those mistakes at this situation of the game. You need to pick it up.
Well, I think it's a blocking foul that's been called on. And now it'll be Panduka will be taking the ball from out of bounds, passes it to Shivanga. Shivanga, beautiful crossover, difficult shot, falls on the ground but does not make it. It is Tarindu who is pushing the pace on the other round. And like I told you, as a calm head, he keeps things calm for Royal, as it is Vibudu who drives and passes it to Tarindu, makes a floater, comes up short. So like I said, not pretty offense, but in terms of intensity, my goodness, the game has really picked up.
29-28, 5 minutes remaining, and now that's St. Joseph's College failing with that shot, rebounded really well there by Neluka Upasena. Sends it off to Tarindu Balasuriya, who's just outside the 3-point line. Interception by St. Thomas's College. Shaman goes for the layup, nails it down. 29-30, there you go, that's the replay. You will find the interception in the middle, that's the interception. Off and goes. Beautifully done by St. Joseph's College, Colombo. Tarindu Balasuriya sends out to Pulatisi. Pulatisi takes a shot from the elbow, misses it completely. 1 point lead for St. Joseph's.
He has been way off his game in terms of offense. He is shooting shots that are simply not there for the taking. The boy has to learn his lessons with 4 minutes to go. And could you please, Lilum, explain me the logic of taking someone like Dilshan out of the game at this point, because he was clearly Royal's leading scorer, but I do not understand the tactics that has been utilized by the Royal College coach at this point. And it is Shivanga with yet another forced shot, but it is Rukshan. Nope, it's Shivanga who somehow rebounds the ball, grabs contact, shoots it, and will be shooting 2 free throws.
But Coach Roshan Wandima is not really happy with that move. He's just saying, why are you doing that? Not what I ordered you, not what I prescribed to you during the halftime break. But Shivanga De Silva, nevertheless, is on the line for a couple of free throws. They are leading this game by a point, and if he can add those extra points off, they can quite comfortably have a breather for themselves. Does well in the first attempt. One more for them.
Shivanga is always a key man. He is going to make his shots. It's just a matter of making the right shots. Basketball is a game where you make high probability shots. Although he has not quite been there in terms of making great probability shots, he has been consistent for St. Joseph's throughout this game.
There you go, another substitution coming in for Royal College. Vibhuda Jaitilaka going off, and Sonal Premalal making inroads into the playing 5 once again. Tarindu Balasuriya, point guard, finds Sonal Premalal on the right side. Back to Tarindu Balasuriya, now through the right lane, goes off, deemed off by 2 tall players from Joseph's outfit, Shivanga De Silva. There you go, that's the replay. Double team blocking attempts. Just so much pressure on that lad, right there.
As well as Shivanga have been on the money on defense. We have been faulting Shivanga's shot selection, but on defense, he has been a stalwart for St. Joseph's College, no doubt about that, as Tarindu makes the out-of-bounds play, finds Rukshan. That was quite a poor passing display, wasn't it? Quite a poor passing display. But that was yet another unforced error, as Royal College unable to make a very simple out-of-bounds play. Now it is Shenal who drives, makes a tough turnaround J, does not make it. Giman does a clean-up work as Rukshan pushes it up. Rukshan all the way, grabs the contact, fails to make the shot, but will be shooting 2 free throws.
3 minutes and 40 seconds on the clock, 29-32. A slight 3-point lead for St. Joseph's, but this 3-point lead can take them all the way to the championship finals as well. There you go, that's the scoreboard right on your screen. 29-32. Rukshan Adapattu is on the line for a couple of free throws. Misses the first one. He has another chance to add a point and cut the deficit for Royal College. On the background you can hear the noise of the fans. They are just so much into this game as Shivanga De Silva brings it up front to the court. Now looking for options, goes through, finally passes it off to Shanal Samuel, who misses the shot but draws off a foul.
Well, that's a big foul because that'll be 3 free throws, because if you shoot from beyond the 3-point line and you get fouled in the act of shooting, the team will be shooting 3 free throws, and that'll be huge, especially with Shanal's shooting form. Shanal has been one of the more consistent players for St. Joseph's College throughout the entire match, and he has shot some big 3-pointers and has made some big defensive plays as well. So he is a player with a calm head and has been a player that St. Joseph's has often gone to in the offense. However, he fails to make both of his free throws. Could turn out to be quite costly in the context of the game. He, however, cannot make that last one as well. So that is 3 missed free throws. As opportunity for St. Joseph's goes a begging. Now they better start pulling their socks up big time if they want to keep this lead, because the lead is ever so slight. It is only 3 points with 3 minutes and 20 on the clock. It's a poor pass by Tharindo. He did make the right decision, but the pass did not have enough energy in it. And it is Shivanga on the other hand who blows the layup. It was contested, but we expect a player like Shivanga to make layups of that sort and make it count and add to the total, because all of these points are going to be vital come fourth quarter. With 3 minutes and 10 seconds, it is Tharindo who advances the ball for Royal College. He surveys the court. Quick couple crossovers. Nice step in, but falls short. And it is Esita who's pushing the pace for St. Joseph's rather. And Shivanga, well, that was way off from the 3-point line. And it is Dilshan who's finally in the game, the Royal College skipper, who did a lot of damage in the first quarter. He finally has the ball. He's been put a lot of pressure, but it is Tharindo who finds Giman. Giman was not in position. He should have been in a better position, or it would have been 2 easy points for Royal College. And it is Shamin who makes a mess of things on the other side for St. Joseph's, but they recover, and it is their main man Shivanga on the ball. And he finds, it is Shivanga with the ball again. Shivanga makes a J. That was a very, very tough fade away jumper. He was fading towards his left side. A very difficult shot to make, but come pressure time, it is players like Shivanga, who has been missing a lot of shots in this match, who will come out good for St. Joseph's. Coach Roshan Randim has a lot of trust in him, and now it is Shivanga with yet another layup. Big time boost, especially from Shihan, who does the defensive work. And Shivanga is making Royal College pay dear as we get to a 36 points to 29. That is a 7 points lead for St. Joseph's College with just less than 2 minutes to go in the third quarter. Well, as predicted, Shivanga has come up real big in this match. Yes, he has been making some questionable shots, maybe not the high probability shots that we want him to take, but he has definitely stepped it up in the third quarter, and Royal College is the game has gone off.
And of course, a quick reminder about the recap, your daily sports update. If you just missed your news around the Island Nation during the day, you can simply log on to www.thepapare.com, Sri Lanka's #1 sports hub, and catch on the recap, your daily sports update on Sri Lanka's #1 sports hub, thepapare.com. That's the enthusiastic crowd who's catching the semi-final action. And far in the screen, you can see the head of photography for thepapare.com, Hiran Virakodi, together with his photography crew, capturing those moments on his lenses for thepapare.com. And now is Roshan Randima and Shanal Daniels, the assistant coach and the head coach for St. Joseph's College. 29-36, a 5-point lead for the Josephians. 1 minute and 47 seconds on the clock. as Prasanna Jayasinghe is giving some clear instructions for the Royalists. But what do you think he's saying?
Well, Lelum 7 points, 12 minutes remaining in the game. Do you think St. Joseph's has done enough to run away with this, or do you think they can still be in the hunt? Royal College rather can still be in the hunt. I, however, would tell you not to discount the Royalists. They have an attacking mentality which is going to help them towards the latter part of the game. And Rukshan, Dilshan and Heshan now has been inserted as a 3-point specialist. He is former Royal College Ashen Menuka's brother, and he has proven to be a very effective offensive weapon for Royal College. And it is now the Josephians who are advancing it. That is yet another unforced error from St. Joseph's College. There was absolutely no pressure exerted on them, but somehow they managed to just throw the ball away. I understand that they have a 7 points lead, but this kind of looks like they've taken the game a little bit easy now that they have a 7-point cushion, Lelu.
7-point cushion won't take you all the way. St. Joseph's College, you just have to make sure that you go back and stick to your basics, as that lad right there on your screen nails the shot and gets an and one opportunity. Very important for Royal College, 31-36. And now he has a chance. Nelaka Upasena has a chance to add another point for the scorecard and cut the deficit by 4 points. What can Nelaka do is what we're going to see right now. Nelaka Upasena misses the and one opportunity.
He might have missed it, but in the context of this game, there was a huge power dribble and under the basket play by Nelaka, because Royal College was having a drought in their offense. None of the seniors are turning up and putting their hands up, but it was young Nelaka who makes a big time play for Royal College. And Shivanga once again drives and is fouled. I'm telling you, Shivanga must be responsible for at least 8 of Royal College fouls at this point, and his size, strength and ability to penetrate the defense is really helping St. Joseph's College with their offense.
Shivanga De Silva once again. Shivanga De Silva nails it. 31-40 it should be on the scoreline. There you go on the replay. Shivanga De Silva beautifully doing it. 31-38 remains, leading the game by 7 points again with 30 seconds on the clock. Nishan Menuka sends it pass, intercepted by Shivanga De Silva. On the break for St. Joseph's College. Defense by Rukshan Adabato. Bates him and misses the shot. Rebounded by Pandu Gachamange, but Rukshan managed to steal the ball, and now he's on the possession. Cheek little shot. Second attempt gone wrong. Once again Rukshan Adabato has the ball. A good fight for the ball there. Off the legs of Shinal Samuel.
11 seconds on the clock. 38-31. This is a very crucial possession for Royal College. They better make a shot out of this. There is 11 valuable seconds on the clock, and it is Panduka who has been called for an off the ball foul for pushing Dilshan, although he was clearly not in possession. So it's really tight defense played by St. Joseph. If you see the man-to-man that they're playing, they're really sticking onto the men like glue, and that is really not helping Royal College in terms of their offense, as Rukshan makes a difficult shot. No chance of making it. 3 seconds on the clock. Shivanga with the ball. 1 second. Big time interception play by Dilshan. That was a huge defensive play, because if he had not made it, it would have been an easy layup for Shivanga, and the lead would have been 9 points, Lelum.
There you go. That's the quarter time break in this third quarter, and the second and the final semi-final of the ThePapare Basketball Championship 2016. 31-38, 7-point comfortable cushion over to St. Joseph's College, Colombo. And a quick reminder about the Dialogue Champions League, ladies and gentlemen. ThePapare.com, Sri Lanka's #1 sports hub, brings you Sri Lanka's premier football club competition, the Dialogue Champions League, as 18 clubs battle for supremacy. You can catch the live action on every Saturday and Sunday from 3:15 p.m. onwards. That is how it goes on football. But coming back to the sport, the ThePapare Basketball Championship, the first semi-final was won by St. Thomas's College, Mount Lavinia, beating Marisla College, Nigambu by 9 points, 54-45. They've made their spot, rather booked their spot on the final It was 4 unbeaten teams for the 4 finalists, and of them Marisala College Nigambu has gone down, and one of these teams, either Royal or St. Joseph's, will go back, and they will have to settle down for the 3rd place, which is going to take place tomorrow. There you go, beautiful crowd coming off to Henry Pages Basketball Complex. ThePapare.com, ladies and gentlemen, just more than a media corporation, going beyond expectations and coming off for the basketball franchise, helping and developing the sport to build up potential, to find the young talent and bring them up to the national stage, to mold them for that bigger stage. That is the sole motive of ThePapare.com, redefining schools basketball. Ladies and gentlemen, Sri Lanka's number 1 sports hub, ThePapare.com.
Sri Lanka's number 1 sports hub indeed. Now that you spoke about the St. Thomas's College team, let me explain to you the gravity, the amount of expectations the Royal College fans have on their team, because you all know about the Royal Thomian, which is right around the corner, probably will happen around September to October. That is one of the biggest matches that is played in terms of a school's basketball a match. So for Royal College, it'll be very much they will very much look forward to book a place in the finals, so they get a taste of what it seems like to play St. Thomas's College at the Royal Thomian, which will be happening at Royal College this year.
Alright, the final 600 seconds of the final semi-final of the ThePapare Basketball Championship. Is it Royal College? Is it St. Joseph's College? That is something that we'll know at the end of these 10 minutes. 31-38 so far. The advantage is on St. Joseph's College. They are leading the game by 7 points. Tarindu Balasuriya with the first possession of the final quarter. Finds Gimhan. Oh, misses for the mistake, but Rukshan about to saving the crucial possession. And that lad, Nelago Pasena, draws a foul at the start of the quarter. Very important.
He missed his free throw in the N1 opportunity. Let's see if he can make this count. He really has to make this count. Royal College really has to step on the gas pedal, or they're going to be lagging behind in this second semi-finals of the ThePapare All-Island Basketball Tournament. He makes the first one. Let's hope he makes the second free throw as well, if you're a Royal College fan, that is. He fails to make it, and it is Panduka with a big-time rebound. Passes it to Shanal. Shanal advances it forward, surveys the court, and it is Shivanga who is free on the left side of the court. Tough contested turnaway jumper, no good, and it'll be Royal College ball. Now if we see another instance where St. Joseph's, in the form of Shivanga, have made an unforced error. I would say it is an error because there was simply no shot there. And it is Tarindu who now has the ball for Royal College. Beautiful crossovers by the young lad. Passes it to Dilshan, the Royal skipper. Drives left, throws up a floater, nowhere near. Royal College, the offense has simply been having a big time drought in the second half. It's almost as if it's extinct Lelum.
The scoreline will assist Abbad's theory out there, 32-38. And a rash pass once again. That shouldn't have been done. That shouldn't have been done by the St. Joseph's College outfit. You can be leading the game, but you just can't afford those mistakes in the semi-final, especially in the final quarter. You cannot afford those.
Speaking of theory, that's yet another unforced error, isn't it? As Rukshan crosses over, drives in. He finds Dilshan, but it is Rukshan with the ball again. It's very dangerous in these circumstances because he can just shoot the three-pointer with a lot of accuracy. So St. Joseph's are right there to make sure that they cut the three-pointer from Rukshan. And it is now Shivanga once again with the ball for St. Joseph's.
Shivanga De Silva back to Shamin Fernando. Now finds Shanal. Shanal back to Panduka Gachamange. Panduka takes a mid-range jumper. Misses it. Rebounded by Yeshida Shuadin. Makes a miss of that. He should have gone up with the second chance and made it count.
Crying out loud, could you please explain to me what is going on with the St. Joseph's College offense? I mean, they're still on the lead. I understand perfectly, but they're blowing easy pickings, aren't they? As Dilshan misses a three, and it is Esita who gets fouled while he advances the ball forward very rapidly. And it'll be an out of bounds for St. Joseph with 7 minutes 54 seconds remaining on the clock. It is St. Joseph with the lead, 38 points to 32.
7 minutes remaining in the quarter, 32-38, advantage over St. Joseph's College as another travelling violation is on the call by the referee. Turnover ball for Royal College. It will be Dilshan Menuka and Tarindu Balasuriya advancing into the front court with the ball for the Royalists. Shivanga De Silva is up front on the defense. Rukshan Adapato comes with the ball. No, he doesn't get it. Back to Gimman. Gimman sends it back to Tarindu Balasuriya. Balasuriya tries a three-pointer, nails it! Much needed three-pointer. 35-38. There you go. That's a replay. Casual three-pointer for Tarindu Balasuriya. Does it well.
Huge play by the youngster. I've been telling you from the start of the game, the lad has a very calm head. He spotted that the defender was lagging just a little behind. He had enough room to free his arms, and he just lets that three-pointer fly and make sure that St. Joseph's pay dear as the deficit is cut to a mere 3 points. Lelum. In the context of the game, I feel you really cannot count Royal College out of the game at this point, because with 7 minutes 30 seconds of the clock, there's a lot of time, ample time for Royal College to mount a comeback. Your thoughts on that, Lilu?
Indeed, a couple of more three-pointers can entirely shift the fate of the game, but I don't think Roshan Randiba will leave room for that. He'll be advising all his lads to tighten screws in defense is what they're planning at, and on the other hand, Prasanna Jasinga, he will have a lot of strategies in offense. He's a really experienced coach. Not just him, both the coaches are highly experienced at these stages of the game. 35-38, a 3-point lead for St. Joseph's, and the crowd, look at their faces. They're all anticipating a nail-biting finale for this game.
Yes, nervous faces all around, because nobody is going to be placing any bets on this game now, are they going to, Lelum? Because this is just as close as it could get, with just 3 minutes on the clock and 3 minutes dividing both these teams on the scorecard, and 7.5 minutes on the clock. I have to tell you, St. Joseph's offense as well as Royal College offense have simply become stagnant in the second half. They really have to focus on every possession, because in the game of basketball, every possession counts. And it is Shivanga who comes out of the screen, tries a jumper, but is careless with the ball as Rukshan takes a steal and makes a handling error. However, thankfully, it was off for Josephian, and it will be Royal College ball.
Handling error or not going back to basics error. Basics, mate, basics, Rukshan. You just have to stick down, get the ball right up to your chest level and lay the ball in off the board. That's what you got to do. No fancy stuff. 35-38 is the scoreline. It's very crucial that you score all the points in all the possessions. Back to Tarindu Balasuriya, another three-pointer. Misses it. Rebounded by Shanal up front to Shamin, and it's going to be a travelling violation. Disappointing, very disappointing. And it was a very crucial offense. That's Rukshan Adapato on your screen right now. And behind is Shama Dhanavansa, former Royalist, former national captain, and a national player, and an exceptional national player he has been. So a lot of national players coming in and showing their support.
Dilshan drives, however does not make the shot as Hesita rebounds it. And he advances forward on his own, makes a tough attempt at the basket, but no good, as Panduka saves the position for St. Joseph's, and they'll be getting another opportunity. One must talk about Shamin and his defense he has played on Rukshan. He has stuck to him like a glue, which has prevented Rukshan from having any easy passage to the basket. And defense, I'm telling you, is a huge part of this particular game. And it is Panduka who's been fouled and will be shooting 2 free throws as it is in the act of shooting. Yet another pair of crucial free throws coming up for them.
How well can the Josephian skipper turn them on to points is the question. Panduka Gajamange on the line, gets the first one in. Very much needed. Much needed. Panduka Gajamange, the skipper for St. Joseph's College, Colombuton. Boys from Dari Road, can you win it for your college? Misses the second one, 36-38, still a 2-point lead, and 6.5 minutes remaining in this game. and it's another foul. Interesting.
Well, Lelum, this hasn't been the prettiest of games, but I'm telling you, it really is going to come down to who wants it the most. And it is simply by sheer effort that both these teams are managing to scramble their way to points, because we are not seeing any smooth offense. Even fast breaks have been missed on quite a number of occasions by both teams. So it comes down to sheer will, sheer effort, especially on the defense, and that it probably be what will separate both these teams when the final buzzer sounds.
Dilshan Menuka to Tarindu Balasuriya. Tarindu Balasuriya with the ball now. Defense by Shivanga De Silva. Finds Rukshan Batu on the left forward. Goes to the left baseline. Takes a mid-range jumper. Misses it. Rebounded by St. Joseph's College on Shivanga De Silva. Easy layup. Oh, misses it. How crucial is that for Shivanga De Silva? As Rukshan Batu goes on the other side and he misses it too. My goodness, how crucial are those both offenses for both the teams?
Well, I think Shivanga had a much cleaner look at the basket. Rukshan had a defender on top of him, but still, that's not an excuse for you to miss a basket now, is it? Because if you cannot find a fast break shot, just set the offense, keep calm, and make sure you get help. So that is basic basketball, like you've been telling all the way through, Lelum. And both teams have not been playing basic basketball right throughout the game.
That is the question up here. You got to stick to your basics. As Shivanga De Silva now, defense off by Tarindu Balasuriya, cutting off that strong lane. Passes it out to Shinal Samuel. Now to Panduka Gajamange on the post. Drives through the baseline. Misses the shot. And a foul probably. Yes, he gets it onto his hand.
I do not think that's a foul. That's a block, isn't it? A clean block?
A clean block probably.
A clean
yes,
block
maybe.
by Dilshan. Neck and neck. It was a tight call. But it was Dilshan with a big time play for Royal College. 3 fouls. It is now Chanel with the ball. Attempts another 3-pointer, makes it! Big time play from the number 5 for St. Joseph's College, and the lead is back to 7 points with 5 minutes on the clock. It is skipper Dilshan who finds Nelaka, but the pass was a bit off, and Tarindu sets it again. Dilshan tries to pass it to Nelaka, forces a 3-point shot. There was no shot there. It was Chanel who was all over Dilshan, and now it is Esita on the other end. Makes a tough shot, does not make it. Shamin gets his shot blocked. It isn't pretty, is it? But still, we see so much effort from these lads, and that is very gratifying to see if you're a basketball fan. Esita misses too. Shiranga fights with the rebound. It is Royal College ball. Hustle all out. Both these players are giving their everything, and with 4:28 to go, I feel it is St. Joseph with the slight edge. Lelum.
Slight edge, but it's basketball, and you never know. You never know what can happen. It's 4.5 minutes remaining on the clock. 35-42. St. Joseph's College with a slight edge with 7-point lead, and they will have advantage as Tarindu Balasuriya sends it up front to Dilshan Menuka, the skipper for Royal College today, and that's Tarindu Balasuriya with the ball once again.
The Royal College coach trusting Nelaka, the young lad, with the 5 position, and it is Shiranga who has ball for St. Joseph's, and it's Chanel who pushes it forward. They've both been playing at a very up-tempo game, and I think that is the way for both these teams to go for. And that is Panduka who nails another jumper for St. Joseph's, and the lead is now 9 points, and it is becoming quite a dangerous place to be if you're a Royal College basketball player, because now it's going to be quite a mountain to climb if that lead becomes a 2-digit lead.
And it's a timeout called by Prasanna Javardhana, the coach for Royal College, and that's the time remaining on your screen right now. 3 minutes and 58 seconds, 35-44. It is St. Joseph's College who are leading this game quite comfortably, a 9-point lead. A lot of there you go, that's the crowd. That's the crowd who's right there joining for St. Joseph's College, cheering the lads up front. And what a game they have created. 35-44. They were trailing this game. They were under pressure during the first half, but coming back into this game, making a strong mark. Mind you, they defeated Asian International School, the defending champions, in overtime. After trailing in the first half, they only scored 3 points in that game during the second quarter. But my goodness, the second half performance was just so epic that they went into overtime and beat it. And so that's the caliber of St. Joseph's College team. They're a very balanced team. They can bounce back into the game. They have the talent. They have the potential. And once again, it's the clock on your screen. 3 minutes and 58 seconds. And you will know who will play alongside St. Thomas's College Mount Lavinia in the final after 3 minutes and 58 seconds exactly.
Well, that's true, Lelum. Royal College, what I observe is their main offensive weapons in terms of Rukshan and Dilshan have gone very quiet. They have not made a single basket in the fourth quarter, and that's not going to help Royal College in this course of winning the semi-finals. But for St. Joseph's, we see an overall team effort, and although their offense isn't pretty, we see so much of hustle plays, which is keeping them in the lead. Rukshan makes quite a difficult pass that probably could have been caught by Pulicity, but that is another turnover for Royal College, definitely not helping Royal College's cause of booking that final spot.
Alright, Shanal Samuel, what can you do? Sends it off to Shivanga De Silva. Tries a pump fake, beats him with a crossover. Turn around, finds Shamin, goes for a 3-pointer, misses it, misses the rebound. Over to Dilshan Menuga, now to Rukshan Adapat, who's on the break for Royal College.
Rukshan attempts, it's Gimhan with a big time rebound, however fails to convert the layup, and now it is Esita. Was that a travel? That was so close. Shoving the offensive foul. He extends his elbow. You cannot extend your elbow in a game of basketball when you're on the offense. Now this could be a crucial turning point with 3.5 on the clock. I'm assuming there'll be roughly around 20 possessions left in this game, which means Royal College will have to utilize every single one of those possessions if they want to have even the slightest chance of creeping back into this game. Lelum?
Alright, Tarinu Balasuria driving through the middle lane, a beautiful layup. Misses it completely but draws the foul. Just what's needed. 4 fouls on Royal College and now it's 4 on St. Joseph's College as well. But he'll be on the line for a couple of free throws. Very valuable that he makes full value of these 2 free shots. 3 minutes on the dot. 3 and 2 zeros for you.
That was Tarinu once again, who makes a heads-up play, drives in and tries to make a layup. Fails, but gets 2 free throws. However, that is not helping Royal College's cause as well, as they missed 2 free throws, and it's 2:54 on the clock, as it is Shivanga with the ball. Shivanga is playing with a much calmer head, but it is St. Joseph's for some reason, once again, who force an unforced error. Simple passing, isn't it? It's not like there is a defender locked on. I'm very sure Roshan Randima, their coach, will have a few words to say after this game is over. And Rukshan drives in and has been called for traveling violation. I'm not very sure if that was quite a neck and neck call, but Budika has so much experience and he knows what he is doing. And now it is Shivanga with the ball once again. 2.5 minutes. Lelum, you still are refusing to make your bets.
Not only the last second, mate. Not only the last two. Have been in too many games that went down the wire and
Always
have seen
optimist, Lelum.
and have seen too many turnarounds. That's how it is in basketball, and that's what creates the love for the sport. So exciting, so fast, and you never know what's happening. And of course, a quick reminder for all of you. My friend Abbad is joining in the commentary. He's writing a column, swishing the nets on ThePapare.com. International basketball, your weekly basketball international bisection. You can read it all on ThePapare.com. He puts a lot of effort into that. So mind you, just log on to our basketball page and have a look on that column.
Yes, people, show us some love. Thank you.
All right, let's go. Shivanga De Silva once again on the line for a couple of free throws. Misses the second one. 35-44. It's been a no-scoring time period since that final timeout by Prasanna Jayawardena, and it's just 2 minutes and 11 seconds on the clock precisely, with 5 fouls on Royal College. So it's team fouls, and 35-44 still St. Joseph's College leading.
Shenal with the ball for St. Joseph's. Passes it to Shivanga, the usual suspect. He makes a nice crossover. And yet another and passing error. I simply am amazed at the amount of turnovers that St. Joseph's has had in this match. And I'm very sure if they do advance to the finals, they better have a look out for that, because it's going to cost them dear. Gimhan, and one big time play by the big lad for Royal College, and he will have to convert this for Royal College if they are to cut the deficit to 6 points.
Big time play and much needed play for Royal College. Now Gimhan, what can you do? There you go, that's a replay. That's how he gets a shot in and the foul together. Okay, Gimhan, you have one more chance to add another point and make it 38-44. How well can you accustom into the situation is something that we'll find out right after in a few seconds. There you go, misses the shot. It will remain as 37-44. Shivanga gets it off and sends it off to Panduka Kachamange, and now a half court press by Royal College. Back to Chanal, looking for options, finds Shivanga De Silva, who takes his space from Tarindu Balasuriya in the defense. He's waiting for the mistake. There you go, he drives, sends it to Chanal. Opts at the 3-pointer, misses, rebounded by Pulatisi. On the break is Sonal for Royal College now, just outside the 3-point line, finds Tarindu Balasuriya, goes for the 3-pointer, misses it. Completely off the ring, 37-44. 1 minute and 19 seconds.
This point onwards is going to be very simple basketball for St. Joseph's. There's 24 seconds in a basketball possession, and St. Joseph's, if they have their minds right, will want to waste as much time as possible, eat as much time as possible from the clock, and make it very difficult for the lads from Reed Avenue. And it is Pulisic who has been fouled, but he will not be shooting any free throws now, would he? Yes, he will be shooting free throws as St. Joseph's are over the limit.
Yes, 6 on their card. That is just too much for you to have as a game like this. Probably the game of basketball. Pulatisi missing the first one. Unfortunate, 1 minute and 16 seconds. You cannot miss them. That is something that we've been highlighting throughout. You cannot miss free throws. You need to get it spot on.
Yes, Lelo, this is absolutely inexcusable from Royal College. They have been missing 10 plus free throws in this game, and that has come to really cost them dear. With just 1 minute to go, they're still trailing by 6 points as Shenal passes it to Shivanga rather. Shivanga has a cool head, passes it to Shamin. They've been passing the ball around quite well in the second half. That has been a big difference from the first half. Shivanga drives again, finds Shenal on the open court, cannot make the 3-pointer though.
But they had their 24 seconds up to there you go, that's Shivanga driving and passing it out to Shenal. Off the 3-pointer, dishes it out but misses it. There you go, pressure on Tarindu Balasuriya now. Tarindu Balasuriya in possession, 40 seconds on the clock. Intercepted there. Here comes experience into play for Shivanga. Now he's keeping the ball. Passing around the perimeter. That is Shanal Samuel. Back to Shivanga De Silva. Back to Charmaine. Alright, they're hitting the clock. Yeah, there you go. 30 seconds remaining. 38-44. 38-44
from St. Joseph's College. They have to do their basics, like Lelum has been saying from the start, and they've been completely doing that in the second half. And now it is Shamin who passes it to Shenal. That's the 18-second warning. Shenal drives in, loses control, and that is shot clock expiry. That is 24 seconds. But that, I would say, was a successful position for St. Joseph's College. And there's only 18 seconds remaining on the clock as Prasanna Jayasinghe calls the timeout for Royal College. But it might be too little too late for the Royalists, Lelum.
18 seconds on the clock. 38-44. Is it too late? We'll know who will really play alongside St. Thomas's right after 18 seconds of play.
Well, the only way Royal College could possibly come back in this game is by fouling St. Joseph's College at every given possession. Then what happens is the shot clock, it becomes stagnant. And while the shot clock is stagnant, although St. Joseph's gets attempt at the free throw line, Royal College could maybe counter with a couple of 3-pointers and maybe come back to the game. But I'm assuming there's only one timeout left for Royal College, and that isn't going to help them in the cause, because if the timeout is taken, then the ball will be advanced from the half court. Now, if with one timeout remaining, that really isn't much Prasanna Jayasinghe or Gavi or whoever it is who's heading the Royal College coaching staff can do for Royal College. 18 seconds, you're still not placing your bets, Lelu.
I'll just say may the best team win, and may the best team win the Papare Basketball Championship 2016, because it's all for you. That's what Papare is with. It's all for the players, the school players, because if not for you, who else is going to make Sri Lanka proud? So that is the call that you have to take. Go out there, show your colors. The stage is up for you, ladies and gentlemen. All the school players, come on up, make Sri Lanka proud. 18 seconds, 38-44. All right.
Big time possession for Royal College. They better make this count. It's just do or die, isn't it? It's as simple as that. Tharindu with the ball. They better make this shot. Gimhan, tough turnaround Jay, no good. It is Shenal with the ball, and it is going to be lights out for Royal College as he makes the pass to Esitha. And too little too late for Royal College.
Too little too late. Yes, that's the line. It's 38-44. If you just take a look at the scoreboard, it's 5.3 seconds right on the clock. Nails it. Quite easy position now. 38-45. Easy pickings for this lad. That's Eshrita Shamdeen. Panduka Gajamange leading the side up front. 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 second, and that's it. Lights out for Royal College Colombo. It will be St. Joseph's College Colombo taking on St. Thomas's College Mount Lavinia in the championship finals on 17th July 2016. It was a game where St. Joseph's didn't got on to the best of the starts, but coming back into the game, they made it a game out of themselves. They made it, they chased it down, and finally managed to make a game out of it and win it for themselves.
Definitely, Lelum. St. Joseph's were down in the first quarter, and it was all Royal College with Rukshan and Dilshan doing a lot of damage. But for some reason or another, the Royal College coach took Dilshan out of the offense, and the Royal College offenses became stagnant from that point onwards. And at the half, it was 25-26. Both teams tied up perfectly, but it was in the third quarter when things were getting really ugly that the hustle play from St. Joseph's and some brilliance from the number 6 Shivanga, who had an exceptional game, which came really, really vital for St. Joseph's as they booked their finals against what's going to be a memorable clash with St. Thomas's College on the 17th, if I'm not mistaken, Lelu.
Indeed. So this is, I'm going to just remind you quickly about the fixtures and the upcoming live streams. Tomorrow is going to be the third place matches of this Papare Basketball Championship. Girls matches will be starting at 3:45 p.m. on the dot. That is between Holy Family Convent and Presbyterian Girls National School. And at 5:45 p.m. it will be St. Royal College taking on Marsala College in the third place boys match. And on the 17th of July 2016 it will be the girls and the boys final. And firstly it will be Good Shepherd Convent at St. Joseph's Girls School, Nugegoro taking on the girls final at 3:45 p.m. on the dot. And at 5:45 p.m. followed by the big final, the grand finale of the Papare Basketball Championship. St. Joseph's College Colombo will take on St. Thomas's College Mount Lavinia at the Papare Basketball Championship 2016. You can catch the action live on thepapare.com, Dialogue TV Channel 1 and My TV on the times that I mentioned prior. Inviting you to stay tuned on thepapare.com and thanking all of you who joined with us here at thepapare.com and on Dialogue TV. Dialogue TV, thank you very much for joining with us. Thank you very much for joining us. And that's the full-time score in our screen. It's 45-38. And my name is Lelumam together with Ahmedabad Fauzan. Saying goodnight with the entire ThePapare.com crew, sharing the passion for ThePapare.com.